Hi, I'm Karen, and I am the founder here at Fave Lifestyles, coming to you from Arizona. And Kathy and I are going to try this again. We tried to go live the other day, and I did not have good internet connection. So, does anybody else out there ever have technical issues?
Been there.
Kathy, thank you for joining me. Let's give this a whirl again. And we are going to have just a casual conversation today about women entrepreneurs, helping women step forward in life. And let's tell the ladies a little bit about what you do. Go ahead.
Thanks, Karen. It's always great to be here in the biz community and the whole Fave Lifestyles group as well. And yeah, so my business is Inspired Tenacity. The main focus of my work is really helping women to reignite their life by rediscovering their brilliance and bringing back to their life those things that they used to like to do, those things that inspired us and motivated us. That, a lot of us, we get into our 40s and 50s and realize we're just living day to day, working a job we don't like, caught up in just that do and not really what you actually wanted to be doing right now. So my whole focus is really helping people to step back, re-look at those things, rediscover again, we've all got so much wisdom and experience, and I like to call it brilliance that we bring to the table. And so let's find that again and bring that spark back to our lives. So
I love it. Oh my gosh, because how many women are in that space?
Exactly. I think it's becoming more and more common too, especially as we get into retirement and move into that next chapter or season in our life. It's like, okay, what do I want to do now? Yes. And sometimes it's just that step of, again, looking at it again, giving yourself that permission to say, hey, what do I want to do?
Yes. And you know what is the beauty of having a coach too, is just having somebody, an impartial person, to sit and listen to where you're at.
Yeah.
Maybe help you discover those, like you said, that spark, those things that we used to enjoy, and knowing that it's okay. Just because we're getting older doesn't mean that we have to stop or we can't enjoy life.
And it's almost like the 50s is really kind of the beginning of the next part of our life. So we're feeling solid, we know what kind of life's about. And it was where I came up with the name of my company, Inspired Tenacity. Was in my mind, though, that's what we need for making big changes and giving ourselves that permission, is that inspiration of what do I actually want to be doing? Mm-hmm. And then that bring in that courage and tenacity to just go do it. Because we're often held back by what will other people think, or, oh, I'm too old to do that. And so really going back to those kinds of beliefs and asking, like, is that really true? What if that's not true? What if you could do something else? Right. So what if is one of my favorite questions.
Yes, absolutely. So ladies, I'm here in Arizona. It's super dry. So excuse me, as I always have to have I have a big cup of water always with me. But Kathy, I walked through that, and I could not have moved and done what I have done in these last few years if it hadn't been for the coaches, for people supporting me, guiding me, helping me to discover what is, like you said, asking those questions, what if? And you can't do it alone. And don't try to do it alone. Girls, it's so much more fun doing it with more people.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I love about this community that you've created, that so many of us are in a similar boat, or we have friends that are going through things, and just being able to toss ideas around, or just to be able to feel like we're not alone.
Yes,
I think it's huge.
Something that is one of the main questions we ask. I'm going to chat a little bit about this, feeling alone as a woman entrepreneur. We are in our places. So here we are, we were in COVID, so we were forced to be alone. But now that we're coming out, it's like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but it's like, oh my gosh, where's the people? And I'm an extrovert too. So I'm really, that's a big thing for me. But still, just knowing that you don't have to make all those decisions on your own, that you can run them by somebody. And ladies, I just want to let you know, the Fave Biz Society is now open. And we have our founder member pricing until the July 15th. Feel free to ask any questions about that. It's really about accountability, Cathy. Some of those things that you were talking about.
Oh, definitely.
Accountability, the resources, and we are resource rich at Fave Lifestyles. If you have not been over to our website at favelifestyles.com, Cathy is one of our circle of experts. She has written articles. You can tap into her knowledge. You can DM her, ask her a question, chat with her. And that's what I love about our experts that is so different about Fave Lifestyles, is that you actually have access to these women who are writing the articles, who are the experts. And then, just our community that we bring together. And so I noticed we had a lot of women entrepreneurs in our community. And I thought we need a space just for them, for us to walk each week and hold ourselves accountable to our goals, to your goals that you set for yourself. And so, Cathy, you have been a part of that as we are walking. We started a month ago with our private launch, and you have been at our meetings, and you are also a resource for the ladies. So tell me a little bit about your experience in the last month.
Well, I've really been enjoying the time that I've been spending in the group. And like I was saying, a huge part of it for me, it has been that just making friends, finding connections, and how easy it has been. Because quite often we get caught in that whole thing of, well, I know I have all these different things I need to learn and tools I need to get, but I can't afford to do this and I can't afford to do all of these things. Whereas in the group, so many of the ladies are just sharing their knowledge and sharing their information. They do also have packages and programs that you can buy into, but it's so easy just to ask a question in the group or to get support on certain things. And so that's one of the things I've really loved, because my background, I'm a financial planner. And so I come from a corporate background where all those sorts of things were done for you, right? The systems were in place, the social media was all done. And so now to be in a place where I'm doing my own thing, but having to create all those things and learn all those, like the systems and the technology and what needs to fit together, it's been a huge learning curve for me. So I just love that I can just put a question out there or connect with one of the ladies directly and say, hey, I know you do this kind of thing, or you've gone through this kind of process yourself. Right. What did you do? What are the resources you used? And it's just been an amazing group of ladies just chipping in and helping each other and supporting the idea. And I mean, so much of the journeys that we're on are very similar. Mm-hmm. So again, going back to the feeling alone, I think it's something we have to remind ourselves of regularly. You're not alone. You're surrounded by people that want to help. Right. You're not putting someone out by asking. You're not, creating some kind of an issue. We're just sharing our experience. We're sharing our knowledge. And I'd say for most of the ladies, that's part of what brings us inspiration, is feeling that we did help someone else, and that journey is a shared journey that we're, and that's one of the things I love that I'm working with in my business too. My concept idea is that as women kind of rise ourselves, as we bring ourselves up in knowledge or experience, we tend to automatically reach out and help somebody else come along behind us. Yes. So it's just kind of a natural thing that so many women do. And of course, my dog is barking, and that's just a natural thing.
Your dog wants to be a part of the interview. I wish we could see your dog.
Her comments and her feedback.
Yeah. What is your dog's name?
This is Bella.
Bella
likes to make noise.
So Bella is still a puppy, right?
Yes, she's 11 months now. And yesterday we actually had we went to a puppy party. It was a reunion of her siblings.
Oh,
so
really?
of the 11, there was 6 puppies and the mom there. So it was kind of fun because we hadn't seen them since they were tiny babies. So now to see them all kind of grown up and big and romping around, I'm pretty sure they recognize each other and acknowledge that they're related and their family. And so that was fun. But yes, she likes to challenge me.
Yeah. So, this is life, isn't it? And so if you have a chance, put a picture of your dog for us and show in the comments once we're done here. That would be great, because there's so many women here who have dogs or animals that it's part of our life. It's part of our journey. And
definitely.
Our support. So yeah, awesome.
Yes.
But yes, Kathy, too, not just that support and the resources that we were talking about, but celebrating our wins. And each week, ladies, so when we come together in our accountability society, we talk about, did you achieve, what did you achieve your goal last week, and what can we celebrate? Sometimes it has nothing to do with business. Sometimes it has to do
That's
with,
true.
I exercised the amount of time I wanted to last week. And it's, because that is part of our mental health and our physical health. But just to
Definitely.
have everybody celebrating with us, it's like, yes, we did it. Yeah.
Well,
And
and I was
go
just
ahead.
thinking as well that for so many of us, there are so many things that we're trying to get done, especially
Yeah.
as entrepreneurs, that we tend to lose track and forget about our successes.
Yeah.
And we're so busy moving on to that next thing that has to get done. So it is so nice to have that reminder that, okay, stop, think about it. What were your successes? And then you actually realize you did get a lot done that you just aren't acknowledging or celebrating. So I think, again, coming together as a group and acknowledging and celebrating those wins and discussing the things that are still in process. But
Right.
I know for myself, that's a huge thing that I really have to keep reminding myself: stop, acknowledge, celebrate, and
Yeah.
then keep
So
moving forward.
yes, and we want to celebrate with you. That is, okay. So I was a cheerleader in high school, and so I still have that, I think, in me, that I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate women, celebrate your
Right.
successes, and it's just so wonderful. So, so as one of our Gold Star experts, each week we also give just one business tip from our experts. So, Kathy, is there one tip that you can share with the ladies today?
Again, coming from my angle of really trying to get us to rediscover what excites us and brings us that joy, I
Yeah.
think my tip would be to first allow yourself to think about yourself and what you want, but then also allow yourself to think outside of the usual. Most of us are so kind of confined by, oh, I could do this and this and this is what I've heard of. But I really like to encourage people to think outside of that. Think of those, like what actually excites you, and then create something that includes those things rather than, oh, well, I could join this franchise or I could join that group. It's like, well, think outside of that. Think bigger. Just allow yourself to imagine, to dream, to just go outside of the usual thoughts.
Yes. So
I
do you
find it
think that's
huge.
a good idea to maybe write it down, or what is the best way to kind of
Yeah,
process that?
just brainstorm and just again the allowing and the giving ourselves permission to just step away from our usual, just to step outside of what will everybody else think, or oh, no one's done that before. Well, maybe that means it's your time to do that if no one's done it yet.
Yeah. Our what if list, we'll call
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Okay, girls, this is your homework today, is to sit and dream for 15 minutes and start that what if list. I would love to see a couple things that is on your list. So I have been kind of doing this process because I'm in a big transition myself. And so I need to do that list. And one of the things that comes to mind that I have kind of thought about a little bit is going around the country and interviewing women entrepreneurs who are an inspiration. And I don't know, it's a big dream. It's like, how do you fund it? Then you get on all these details, and it's like, oh, it starts
Yeah,
paralyzing you. But I'm just gonna go with a dream, and
yeah.
that is one thing that has been on my kind of my bucket list, I guess, for the last few years, because I love meeting women. I love seeing what they're doing and seeing what the story is behind what brought them to where they are. So
Yeah, and I think the stories are what really bring us together and encourage more of us to again step out of our usual, and using that example of wanting to travel the country interviewing women, and like you said, you immediately get this, oh, but I can't afford it, oh, how will I do this? And again, so start asking the what ifs. Well, what if I could afford it, and what if I could get sponsorship, or what if I blended a podcast and we're writing a book, putting it together. What if, there's so many other things that you could come up with that could allow that to
Yes.
happen. Like, what
So,
if this was easy? What if this actually wasn't that big a challenge?
so here's my thing. So I was thinking of calling it Little Red Tesla Talks and was wondering if Elon Musk would like to sponsor me.
Hey, yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there. Why not?
Well, that's just it. If you don't ask, you'll never know. I am a huge believer in just ask.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? If someone says no, maybe there's some variation of your request that they could say yes to. Or if they say no, maybe somebody else will say yes. But ask, ask, ask.
And Cathy, that is why I really encourage women to have some type of coach to help you think bigger than yourself.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Because
definitely.
automatically, like you said, I was putting these doubts on myself.
Yeah.
But then you would take it to like, well, let's open that door a little bit more. What if? What, because we can't always see that. We put all these limitations upon ourselves, and we squash our own dreams sometimes, I feel like.
Oh, definitely. So either with our own things or when we put on other people's stuff on top of our thoughts. Oh, what would my kids say? What would my ex say? What would my parents say? What would my friends say? Step away from that. Don't let that be part of your decisions.
Yes. So let's see. Would you mind if we talk a little bit about your story? Because I love how you today in the post on Fave Lifestyles, you talked about your story could be called Reignite Your Life. You do that for your clients, but you have also, I believe, done that for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. So really over the last 10 years, I've really been going through a big process of shift. Back at that time, I was in a very toxic marriage and again, doing that day-to-day kind of thing of, we'll stay together for the kids and all this kind of, and then it really just hit me what kind of role model am I being for my kids? Putting up with, clearly a relationship that is not a good example of what they should look for in a relationship. And just again getting to that point of, okay, something's got to change, something big's got to change right now. Mm-hmm. So I mean, a big part of that is thinking, okay, what else could this look like right now? What are my opportunities? What are the resources I have? And so at that time I left my marriage. I was going through that process. How will I support myself at this time now? And realizing that the job I was in was also a very toxic environment. So I literally left. I like to kind of describe it as I threw my life up in the air and reinvented the whole thing as it came back down. So I changed my career. I used to work in medical genetics, mainly in hospital labs. I spent 25 years doing that. And I love that field, but the job itself was so toxic. It was just, again, the stress of the politics and just so it wasn't, I can't blame the field, only the people and the environment I was working in. Mm-hmm. So I left my marriage with 2 teenage kids in tow. I completely changed my career from medical genetics. I went into financial planning. And the main reason I went into financial planning was because a lot of my friends were going through similar things and going through divorce, and they didn't have any experience financially and had no way of making big decisions. Like, what do I do when I sell my house and I've got, $50,000 or $100,000 in my hand? Do I invest it? Do I buy another home myself? Mm-hmm. And quite often I've heard so many stories of women that have tried to do, understand their finances or do investments, but so much of it was male dominated and they just didn't feel like they were being heard or that the guy really understood them. So I really felt going into financial planning was how I could be of service and help women to create a better life. And then that's where I came to in the last little while, realizing after 10 years of working in that corporate environment in financial planning, that I really wasn't having the impact I wanted to have on women's lives. So that's why I've left and I'm doing my own business now, is I can bring my knowledge of finance, but I can also add the other side of, again, these mindset issues that stop us, the limiting beliefs that just keep telling us, oh, I'm always broke, there's never enough money, I can't pay my bills. When we're caught up in that whole mindset, it's really hard to change. So all of these big transitions, it's like, okay, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to have the freedom to present the information that I believe really does change people's lives for the better in a way that they're creating it themselves. So.
Yes, Cathy, you are a brave and inspirational woman. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your story, because I think, like you said, there are so many women who have walked through, whether it be divorce or they become widows or some major change that has just, like you said, it just upends. It's just like thrown up in the air.
Exactly.
I have experienced that myself. I wish I would have known you then. I could have you could have helped me walk through some of that, especially that finance piece, because that is really scary, especially if you've been in a long-term marriage where someone else has handled most of that. So I just, that ladies, I just want to just let you know the wisdom of the women in our community is just amazing. And to be able to tap into these ladies is such a gift. And Cathy, I'm so glad that you are here and part of our Fave Circle of Experts.
Well, I'm glad I found you.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
I know. So ladies, come join us. We want you to be a part of our community. Come be a part of our business community if you're an entrepreneur. If you are just one of our just regular community members, whether you're a career woman, stay at home, retired, whatever it is, professional grandmother, you know what, we can all learn and grow and just stay vibrant in life. So Cathy, any parting words? How can people get connect with you?
Well, the easiest ways are either through LinkedIn or, like you said, here on Facebook. Just send me a message on Facebook. My website is just inspiredtenacity.com. So very easy. And Bella's not there. And so those are the simplest ways. And even just here in the Fave group, and send me a message or tag me on something there. And in this video, I will, in the comments, I'll add a connection to.
Please do.
I've got some programs coming up that are just getting rolling now. So I'll put my link to the programs there.
Okay.
And yes, Bella has decided it's time for her to
sing. Okay. It's time for a walk or something. So some attention. So Cathy, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and have a great Sunday.
Thank you. See you all soon. Take care.